Hey everyone, so look on the screen. In true Dusty fashion, we have a man who has been arrested. He's a suspect. He's accused of killing his pregnant sister, shooting a 13-year-old, and also shooting and killing his sister's husband. There was a difference. He tried to walk away. They tried to walk away, but I guess the dust bucket wasn't having it that day. The hatred is real. So, let's look at these two clips, and then there's also, I want you to hear what the mother has to say. It's sad. This will be part A. Then, if you will, let's stick around for part B, which will be a separate video, and that will be the commentary.
Right now, we are learning new details about a Labor Day shooting that left a pregnant woman and her husband dead at a park in Maple Heights. Yesterday, the Maple Heights police chief told 3 News the suspected gunman was that woman's brother. And in just the last few hours, they've released his identity. 3 News' Kaitor K is live at Stafford Park, where that shooting unfolded yesterday. Hi, Kaitor.
Hey there, Laura. So this park was full of people for Labor Day events when the shooting happened yesterday afternoon around 3:15 p.m., leaving 3 people dead and another person injured. Maple Heights police have now identified the suspected gunman as Jason Iverson. The victims were his relatives, with whom he allegedly had a feud with. 3 News has learned that they were his pregnant sister, 30-year-old Mercedes Iverson, and her husband, 31-year-old Norbert Carter. Police say when Iverson came to the park, he tried to physically fight them. The family members went to the vehicle to avoid the problem, but witnesses say Iverson then followed them and pulled out a gun. He reportedly shot his sister and a 13-year-old that was in the car, and then chased after his brother-in-law and shot him in a park bathroom. The 13-year-old is expected to be okay, but Iverson's sister, unborn child, and brother-in-law all died. Dispatchers were flooded with 911 calls during all of this, and we do want to warn you, they were all very disturbing.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I got shot in my cousin is 31 pregnant. I got shot.
Listen, is she breathing at all?
No, it's blood everywhere. It's coming out of her mouth.
Okay, all right. We're on the way, okay? Who shot her?
Her brother.
With Calhoun County Sheriff's Department, I have one black male down, gunshot wound, multiple gunshot wounds at Stafford Park in the bathroom.
The 13-year-old that was struck had a graze wound that was treated, and he's since been released from the hospital. Iverson allegedly tried to flee the scene after the shootings, but was caught and arrested, facing murder and attempted murder charges. He's expected to be arraigned tomorrow. Now, coming up at 5 and 6, we talk with a Maple Heights councilman who's calling these killings concerning, upsetting, and very discouraging.
Now, let's go ahead and look at a different video here. This is going to be the mother, okay? This is the mother, and she's giving some background information as to what happened. It appears that there was possibly an ongoing disagreement.
Couple and their unborn baby shot to death in the middle of a park on Labor Day. Maple Heights police say the person who pulled the trigger was that woman's younger brother. Well, tonight, Just One Station spoke to the mother of the victim and the shooter. Kelly Kennedy live tonight with this emotional story. Kelly.
Chris, she is literally living every parent's worst nightmare. She's devastated. The mom tells me she was actually at Stafford Park yesterday at a church picnic, and the reason that her daughter and son-in-law came by was to do her a favor. They were just dropping off her great-grandson's stroller. Well, that's when her son showed up and did the unthinkable. 31-year-old Trey Carter and his wife, 30-year-old Mercedes Iverson, were getting ready to welcome a baby girl into the world in November. Iverson's mother, Cynthia Ivy, tells me they had already picked out a name, Ava.
They were very excited. Trey was more excited than Mercedes because Mercedes was the one that was sick.
She says the Parma couple was only at Stafford Park in Maple Heights on Labor Day to do her a favor, to drop off a stroller.
Then out of the blue, my son shows up And as soon as he sees them, he's just like, he just goes off. So I don't know what he was doing before that got him so enraged, you know, but he just wouldn't let up.
Do you have any idea why your son was so upset with your daughter and her husband?
Well, that's a long story in itself, you know, but the bottom line is he was holding a grudge. He just wouldn't let it go. It just festered, and I guess that was the end result.
Never in a million years could Ivy have imagined that her 29-year-old son, Jason Iverson, would shoot and kill his own pregnant sister and her husband in cold blood.
Him and his sister has always been close. You know, he's always been able to call her and she would bail him out of whatever it was.
What do you think it was? Do you think he just snapped?
I think so. You know, there were a couple of setbacks that he was dealing with in his life. And I guess he just couldn't handle it. Everything just came to a head. To my knowledge, he was supposed to have been seeking help. Being a parent is kind of hard when you have grown children that have issues because there's only so much you can do.
She says it's hard to accept that her daughter's killer and her son are the same person.
It's very hard for me to come to terms with that, you know, because they're both my kids.
Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and get to part B, the commentary.